and if you're new, what up? So you guys, today I'm going to be taking y'all down memory lane, down nostalgia road. We are going to be doing a full face of MAC Cosmetics. When is the last time you've heard somebody say that? When is the last time you've heard somebody mention MAC Cosmetics, okay? Because MAC is not a brand that's talked about, but they are still top tier. Their products are still top tier. And I've kind of gone down a little rabbit hole and I've just been buying all of their products and I've been loving them actually. They're really good. There has not been a product yet from them that I don't like. And I'm kind of shocked, okay? Because I've bought everything from eyeshadows to lipsticks to blushes, bronzers, highlights, setting sprays, everything. I have literally everything here to do a full face of MAC. So this is a look that I was able to come up with. I absolutely love it, obviously. And I just have so many products, like so many things to talk about with you guys. So if there's any MAC content that you guys want to see from me, then definitely let me know. I did have to refilm this video. So this is a different look than what you guys were seeing in my other videos where I told you I was going to be doing a full face of MAC. And that's because they discontinued some of these products within like a few weeks of me getting them. I was so shocked to get on their website and get on Ulta's website to see that these products were like legitimately being discontinued. And I was just like, okay, yeah, no, people have said this for years about MAC, that they discontinue so many products all the time. So yeah, I had to refilm this video. So I hope you guys don't mind. We're doing a new look, but this one is just as good as the first one, okay, period. So yeah, this is the look that we're going for. If you guys want to see it, then just keep on watching. For my brows, I did not do them on camera, but I did go in with the MAC Big Boost Eyebrow Fiber Gel, and I have the shade Stud. This is actually my second tube of this. I just finished off my other one yesterday, so I had to go out and purchase another one. I really do like this product because it's a fiber gel, so it gives you eyebrow-like hairs, and then you can go in and fill in your brows. So I use this religiously every single time that I do my makeup. So that's what's in my brows, and that's what's got them looking like spiked up and everything like that. So of course I'm gonna go into the eyes first. That's the routine that I like to do. I like to do my eyes first and then do my face. So if you're like an OG MAC girl or guy, I need to know like what were your staple products, because I've been going back and looking at like old MAC videos and looking at what were people's favorites, and that's kind of what sent me down a rabbit hole. And I have been purchasing, you know, what were a lot of people's favorites back then, and they're still good quality staple products today. And like I said, I've just been purchasing so much stuff here recently, and it's still the same good quality. Like, it's amazing makeup products that really work. I mean, they're consistent. It's crazy how a product can be around for like 20 plus years and it's still consistent. It still is like a cult favorite, even though a lot of influencers and social media people are not talking about it. You know, it's still like a staple in makeup artist kits and just around the world in general, on runways and things like that. So yeah, I just used the Contemplative State paint pot to prime my eyes. I love the paint pots now, and I see why they were so popular. They really just like cancel out the color on your lid. If you get one that's like lighter than your skin tone or close to your skin tone, it really cancels out everything on your lid. It's nice and blendable and smooth so that you don't get any creases. They're long wearing, but I still like to set mine with a powder, and as you guys can see, it's kind of lighter than my skin tone, so it's really going to help my eyeshadows to show up on my skin and pop. So many people use paint pots back in the day before eyeshadow primer like really became a thing, or before people started using concealer to just prime their eyes. MAC eyeshadows are simply classics. Like, I feel like when you think of eyeshadows, like, you can't not mention MAC, especially their singles. Not so much like their palettes and things like that, because MAC didn't really do a whole lot of palettes, but their single eyeshadows in general are just classics. And I feel like a lot of people still have them in their collection, whether they use them consistently or not. They are still great to this day. They still have an extensive range of colors that work on every single skin tone. The quality and the performance is still top tier. I had a couple of eyeshadows from theirs back in the day. Like, I wasn't really a MAC girl. Let me just start there. I was not a MAC girl back in the day. So a lot of people's favorites, like their eyeshadows and their blushes and their lipsticks and things like that, I didn't start discovering until here recently, because I just was not a MAC girl. Their stuff was pretty expensive for me back in the day, and I was a little intimidated by the brand because I just felt like it was mostly for makeup artists and people who were actually in the makeup industry. And when I was first getting started with makeup, I was just a little intimidated by the brand, so I didn't buy a lot of stuff from them. And then, like I said, I just felt like, you know, their stuff was pretty expensive for me who was just getting started. So while a lot of the brown girl friendly products like Saddle, Woodwinked, what was another one? Sable, Uninterrupted, Texture, those eyeshadows, I didn't really have those until like later on in my makeup career. I did not have Raisin Blush. I did not have Sweetest Cocoa, which I do have Sweetest Cocoa now, and I want to purchase Raisin. But yeah, I did not have those. I didn't even have Ruby Woo lipstick. And that is like literally a classic across everyone's board, from like the lightest of the light skin tones to the darkest of the dark. Ruby Woo is iconic. It's that girl. And I never had it. I never had chestnut lip liner, oh baby lip gloss. And it's crazy because all of these things that I'm mentioning, I have them now. And I couldn't be more obsessed. And y'all, since I had to refilm this video, I'm going to be creating a different look than what I did the first time, because like I said, a lot of these products were discontinued recently. Like within the last few weeks, these products have been discontinued, and I'm kind of upset about it. And that's one thing I have learned about MAC. If you are into their products, if you like their products, you might want to go ahead and invest in stocking up on your favorites, because you just never know when they're going to discontinue it. And it doesn't matter if it's like a staple core line product, they will discontinue that junk with the quickness. So by the way, for my eyes, I did use Texture in my crease, and then I used Saddle on top of that, also in my crease. And now I'm going in with Sable, but I think I want to darken my outer corner, so I'm probably gonna put Sketch on my outer corner. All of these are classic shades from back in the day. I've watched so many MAC eyeshadow videos, like my favorite MAC eyeshadows and stuff like that, and these are all like staple classics that people would mention in their videos. But I'm gonna tell y'all, the person that really got me into MAC and like really got me to spending all of my coins is Miss Megan Robinson on TikTok. She also has a YouTube. I've mentioned her here on my channel before. The way that she talks about MAC products, so obviously she's a MAC employee, but she doesn't talk about their products from a sales standpoint, like she's trying to sell you the product. She doesn't even like being considered like an influencer, because she's not trying to influence you to buy their product. She's trying to influence you to learn how to use whatever products you're going to use, whether it's from MAC or any other company. She's trying to influence you to use your products in the best way that works for you, and not the way that you've been taught on the internet, or the way that, you know, other people do their makeup, who you watch, and you're just kind of emulating what they do. She's trying to teach you how to best use the products for your skin tone, your skin type, and things like that. And I really like it from a more artistry perspective. I just sprayed my brush with Matte Fix Plus, and now I'm going in with Motif, which is a duochrome. And by the way, MAC was doing duochromes before duochromes were a thing, just so y'all know. Do y'all remember Blue Brown Pigment? And then Motif eyeshadow, which is, this is what it looks like in the pan, but y'all can see it's showing up pink on my eyes. So it actually shifts from like a gold beige color to pink. And because I wet it, the pink shift is gonna show up even stronger. But anywho, what I was saying, she's from like more of an artistry perspective, and like the best way for you to utilize your products to make them work for you and for your skin type and skin tone. And it's just so refreshing watching her. So while yes, she does use a lot of MAC products, and she has influenced me to buy a lot of MAC products, which is something that she doesn't really want to do, it's still just refreshing watching her videos and watching her channel, and just seeing how, you know, she does everything, and how she talks about the products and the science behind how they were made and why they were made and what they're meant to do and things like that. So I just really like her channel. MAC has always been like super innovative when it comes to products, just like how I mentioned how they were doing duochromes before duochromes became a thing. Now you have all of these indie brands out there who, you know, their sole brand is based off of duochromes and triochromes and multichromes and things like that. And, you know, MAC was the brand that was doing all of this really innovative stuff before all of these other brands came along. And I feel like they were so ahead of their time that it put them behind the times now. And they're not really pushing to be on trend. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not fighting and competing with these other brands to stay on trend, because they've kind of solidified their place in the makeup world. And, you know, like, you can do that when you were the first ones to do it, when you were the only ones to do it. I remember when, you know, there was no such thing as Sephora. You really didn't hear about Sephora all that much. It was just MAC this and MAC that. And if you wanted your makeup done for a special occasion, you were going to MAC. If you wanted makeup for a special occasion, you were shopping at MAC. There was no Sephora and things like that, you know? Because they're so iconic, they don't have to really fight with other brands for competition, and they're definitely not going to fight with other brands for marketing and things like that, because they just don't have to. Their market is so huge. So I just took brush brown liner, and now I'm actually going to use Embark. Yeah, I think this is Embark. I'm going to use Embark to kind of smoke that out. So MAC is still very much popular, very much a brand that a lot of makeup artists and like makeup artists overseas and who do fashion shows and runway shows and stuff use. So they still have like a cult following for sure. Social media presence might not be as heavy as other brands, but they're still being used all over the world 100%. Like, I can't even fathom how many people used MAC eyeshadows for their wedding day. I can't even think about it. Okay, so even though I'm going to be putting on a pair of MAC falsies, I am using their MAC Stack Mascara, and I actually really like this mascara. I use it a lot for work, because you're supposed to be able to put on like however many coats you want without it looking clumpy. Like, the purpose of this mascara is for you to layer it up and it not turn into like spider lashes. But I just wanted to use it today before I put on my actual lashes. So the lashes I'm going to be using today are the 88 Stunner lashes, and this is what they look like. So they're not my typical long dramatic lashes, but let me just see what these look like. Okay, yeah, these are okay. These are actually not that bad. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I really like how these lashes look. And the band on them is super thin and tiny. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and highlight my brow bone. And for that, I like using rice paper. By the way, these are my custom palettes from MAC, because I just love their eyeshadows, and I love that I can like customize and create my own palettes with them. And I've been using these little palettes a lot, actually. Like, I've been getting a lot of use out of these palettes. But I like using rice paper to highlight my brow bone, because it's like that bone shade, but it has a shimmer to it. It's not like a straight up matte. So like, when your eye catches the light, it's super, super pretty. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the eyes. Now, again, like I said, some of this stuff has been discontinued here recently, and I'm kind of upset about it, because I literally walked into the store and I bought this foundation like a month ago. This is the MAC Prolonged Wear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation, and this is being discontinued, which I'm super shocked by. I went on the MAC website and they literally only have 2 shades of this left. I think they have NC50, which is the shade that I use, and then another shade. So they've actually discontinued that. I was going to use my Studio Radiance Face and Body Foundation, but I'm still testing this out. Like, this would only be my 2nd day of me wearing this foundation, and I really don't want to mess up this look, so I'm not going to use that today. So I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to use the one that has been discontinued, but I'm sorry. Like, I really just didn't expect for them to discontinue it. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray my face with the MAC Fix Plus Stay Over Spray, and I like to spray my face with a setting spray first, just because I feel like when I put the primer on top, it kind of locks it down. So I like to spray my face first. And the mist on this is so fine. Like, it feels so good when I'm spraying my face with this. Okay, so because y'all know I have oily skin and I like a more natural or natural matte finish, I'm going to use the MAC Studio Fix Mattifying 12-Hour Shine Control Primer. This primer actually does a really, really good job at helping to control my oils. I used it yesterday when I wore the Studio Radiance Face and Body, because that foundation yes, they say that it's for all skin types, but let's be real. When you're oily, you really can't get away with wearing all foundations just because, you know, they may look good on your skin, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna wear well. And that's kind of how I feel with that one. I don't know. I have to test it out a little bit longer. So even though it's waterproof and it's humidity and, you know, sweat resistant and all of that, I still don't feel like it would be long lasting on my oily skin unless I take like extreme precautions. So I'm going to give that primer some time to work itself in, and then I'm going to go in with the Prep and Prime highlight pen. This one is in the shade Peach Luster. So this one is kind of like a color corrector for me. And of course, I'm just going to put it under my eyes and on some spots that I don't want peeking through this makeup look. I don't know if I would use this color corrector with the Studio Radiance foundation because it's such a sheer formula. And yes, once you start to, you know, activate it with your hands and it becomes the friction activated product, I still don't think that it would cover the kind of like orangey tone from this product. So I know I could use it under the foundation that I'm using today because that one is more full coverage. And this actually does a really good job of like brightening up under my eyes and then like color correcting dark spots. Like it does a really good job if y'all can't tell. Okay, and then for a little bit of extra security, I'm gonna take a brush and I'm gonna go in with the MAC Studio Fix Pro Set and Blur powder. I love this powder because it definitely does give a blurring effect to my skin. And it sets everything down really nice. So I'm gonna make sure to set down my oily areas. I would highly recommend this powder if you want your skin to be like baby bottom smooth and just like a filter. Highly recommend this product. So I am gonna spray my face with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And that's not necessarily for hydration as much as it is to melt everything that I've put on the skin already and to make it easier for me to work with the Pro Longwear foundation. So I'm gonna take about that much foundation. I am really like, wow, that they discontinued this. And like, didn't they discontinue the older version of this as well? And now they're discontinuing the new version. I wonder if it's because people were complaining a lot about, you know, this version not being like the older version. And so now they're gonna bring the older one back. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. This foundation definitely full coverage and it's definitely more of a natural finish. Might look a little bit more matte just because I did put down that primer. The lights always make it look like I'm more shiny or dewy than I actually am in person, but it's given like more of a natural matte finish. And as you guys can see, like it covered pretty much everything. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my cream contour, and for that I'm gonna be using the Studio Tech Cream to Powder foundation, and I have mine in the shade NW60, and this is the color of it. This right here reminds me so much of my Huda Beauty Tantour, which I'm almost finished with. Like the color and everything gives me the same vibes of my Huda Beauty Tantour. It's like warm enough on my skin so that it doesn't look like ashy, but it's, you know, still cool enough to be an actual contour shade. Like it's cool and deep enough to be an actual contour shade on me. So I actually really like this product. And then since it's a cream to powder foundation, it actually blends effortlessly. And I like to just stipple it in, and look at the definition it just gives like the side of my face. So really like this product. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a smaller brush to blend out the nose because I like a little bit more precision on my nose whenever I use a cream contour. For my concealer, so I am going to be using 2 different concealers because y'all know I like to double up on my concealer. I can't help it. So I am going to be using a matte concealer, and this is the 24-hour Studio Fix Smooth Wear Concealer. Love this. I have the shade NC44 as my highlighting shade, but I have to go in with my Dior to just like layer it up with it because I just love to layer my concealer. So I'm going in with MAC. This is still a full face of MAC. I have to use my Dior. I have to. Can y'all believe I still have never tried the concealer that comes in like the little pump? Like that has been around for literal years and I still have not tried it. But don't worry, I will. With the MAC kick that I've been on and how I've been buying products and how I've already become a loyalty member and all of that this year alone, I'm pretty sure I'll have it. So I'm using the Real Techniques like setting brush to kind of pat and blend this concealer in. This is such a good brush for blending out concealer. After watching this video, y'all gotta let me know if like this brought back nostalgia for you guys, if y'all are like rummaging through your collection, trying to pull out some old MAC products that you probably forgot about. I wish I had a sister or an aunt or even my mom or somebody who was like really, really big into MAC, whose old makeup bag I can like dig through and like try and find like hidden gems and products like that. I really wish. Okay, so now I'm going in with the Smooth Wear Concealer. And when I tell y'all this stuff is heavy duty, you only need a little bit of this stuff. Like, do not go overboard with this stuff. You only need the tiniest bit of this concealer. It is full coverage. It's heavy duty. It blends effortlessly. Like, it's good. And I kind of explained this in one of my like other makeup tutorials. I explained why I like doing my full face with brushes as opposed to a sponge. For one, I feel like you get much better coverage when you use a brush because you don't have something that's like soaking up all of the product. It's kind of blending it into your skin. And then also, I feel like with the sponge, like when you have oily skin, since the sponge is damp, you're adding moisture to the products. And I don't know, I just feel like my makeup doesn't break down as fast when I use brushes because the brushes are not damp. The product is just, you know, in its natural state. It hasn't been wet by anything. It hasn't been affected by anything. That's just my theory. I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I feel. And that's what I've noticed with my own makeup. So I like to just use brushes, especially when I'm going for like long wearing, foolproof makeup that's gonna hold up. So now I'm setting my under eyes with Studio Fix powder in C6. And this powder is flipping amazing. I know not everybody likes to set their concealer or set their foundation with another foundation because that's technically what this is. This is a foundation powder, but I'm telling y'all, for like the smoothest airbrush effect, you definitely, oh, I have a brush here. You definitely want to set with this product and then go in with whatever loose powder you're going to use. And for my loose powder, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier loose setting powder, and I'm going to use that on my Beauty Blender Pocket Puff. And I like to just go in and reinforce my highlighted areas. And with this method, I don't have to bake. I can literally just like push the powder into my skin and I don't have to worry about creasing. So I think setting with the foundation powder and then going in with the translucent powder really helps a lot. Okay, and then I just like to take an actual powder brush and I just like to kind of go over those areas to make sure that the powder is like pushed into my skin. Now I'm gonna set my entire face, and I'm using the Studio Fix powder again, but this one is in the shade NC47. So this is my actual skin tone shade, and I'm gonna just hit everywhere with that powder. And Studio Fix is the original like blurring setting powder, because Studio Fix is gonna get you right every time. Like, look at my skin, you guys. Like, look how smooth, look how pretty and melted everything looks. And we're gonna melt it together even more because we're gonna spray a little bit of Fix Plus. So this is what the face is giving so far. Love it. It looks so good. So since we're coming up on almost doing the lips, I'm going to use the Prep and Prime lip primer, and just going to apply that directly to my lips to prep before I put on my actual lip products. Love the Prep and Prime lip, especially when I'm wearing the luster glasses. I feel like it makes the luster glasses look so much better on my lips, because the luster glass formula, since it's more sheer and more shiny, I feel like it can sink into the lines in my lips. But when I prep with this, it doesn't do that. So now we're going to bring the mention back to the face. And oh my God, I have been obsessed with the MAC bronzers. First of all, let me just say, back in the day, I was a bronzer person. Like, when I first got started with my makeup back in like 2013, 2014, I was very much into bronzers, especially because e.l.f. was one of the only drugstore brands other than CoverGirl who had a bronzer that fit my skin tone. I was obsessed. And the fact that MAC didn't have any bronzers for darker skin back then, it kind of turned me off to them. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and hold y'all. It kind of turned me off because I was like, y'all have everything else for melanated skin. Y'all got the foundations, the powders, the concealer, the blushes, like, but y'all don't have bronzers. And I get, like, bronzers weren't big in like the early 2000s, but 2013, 2014, 2015, there's no reason why y'all wouldn't have bronzers for darker skin. I just felt like that, like, I don't know, that didn't sit right with me. And just now in 2023, y'all are now coming out with bronzers for every skin tone. Side eye, Matt, I'm giving y'all the side eye, because I don't understand how y'all are like all races, all genders, all whatever their motto is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But y'all don't have bronzers for deeper skin tone until now. Anywho, yeah, so I did actually buy a ton of their bronzers because they're actually really, really good. So the one that I'm going to use today is Radiant Rich Rosy. I am obsessed with this one. I love the Radiant version because it kind of reminds me of CoverGirl's Ebony Bronze from back in the day. And y'all know that bronzer had shimmer in it, and it was just gorgeous. If you had a deeper skin tone, it was gorgeous. So this one kind of reminds me of it. I love the little shimmer that it has in it. I love the little glow that it gives, because since I have oily skin during the summertime, I like to be strategic about my glow, and I really like the way that this bronzer looks on me. It gives me definition without doing too much, basically. And it kind of fits, because when I start getting darker in the summer, I don't know if you guys can see, I start looking a little bit more red. So this is like the perfect color for a bronzer for me. Ugh. Do y'all see my nose? This bronzer is literally the perfect color, like perfect. But I do want a little bit more structure to my face for this look. So I'm gonna use a product that isn't, it isn't MAC. It's my old ass Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. And I'm gonna use these two colors to actually give me a little bit of a contour. And I'm gonna kind of keep it back up in here. But do you guys see how it's like giving a darker shadow? Okay, so now for blush. Y'all, first of all, Cheeky Bronze. Cheeky Bronze. Who remembers Cheeky Bronze? This is gorgeous, okay? And I am obsessed. I am obsessed, to say the least. I love this as like a blush, bronzer, topper type situation. So the way that I like to use this, I can't really call it a blush topper because I'm using it underneath my blush. But the way that I like to use this is like to put it right here on my cheeks, like right in between where my blush and my bronzer would sit. I like putting it right there. Do y'all see that? Like, it gives, when I turn this way, it gives a little bit of color to my face, to my cheeks, but it gives all of that glow. So I'm gonna put some on my nose as well. I love this product so much. And I love pairing it with Copper Tone blush. So Copper Tone is a matte, and it's more of like an orangey kind of terracotta color. Y'all know those are the type of blushes that I love. But I just take Copper Tone and I pack it on. Like, I pack it on. I use so much of this blush because it really warms up on the skin. It's like the more you put on, the more it like just warms up on the skin. And I feel like it goes with this look so well. It's so pretty. Okay, and now we can actually go in with the lips. So I'm gonna first be using Cork, which is a brown girl classic. So Cork is like the exact same color of my natural outline, and that's why I love it. And then for more definition, I'm gonna use Chestnut to just line the outer parts. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with Yash lipstick, which is a classic nude. Super pretty with this look, like super pretty. But I'm also going to use gel, and I use gel as a topper because gel is a frost lipstick. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like a metallic frost lipstick. So I'm going to put that in the center just to give like this gold kind of glow. I love this. Okay, and then to top all of that off, I'm going to use the Cream Sheen Glass, and this one is in the shade Boy Bait. And the Cream Sheen formula is so pretty. If you don't like the lip glass formula because it's too thick, or the Dazzle Glass formula because it's shimmery, then you would definitely love the Cream Sheen Glass because it's literally a cream, but it's like a serum based lip gloss. So it's super thin. It's not sticky whatsoever. It's like a super pretty, super comfortable formula. For my inner corner, I'm gonna do All That Glitters single eyeshadow, and I love All That Glitters. This is another like really, really classic type of shade. And it is a really pretty inner corner on everybody, I feel like. It's just like a perfect kind of icy pink shade without being too icy. Okay, so before I finish up my lower lash line off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself another spray of the Stay Over. All right, you guys, so I am all done with everything. This is the completed full face using MAC Cosmetics. What do you guys think? Do y'all like this look? Did it come out good? Do y'all like the products? Did I reignite your love for MAC? Did I get you to go through your collection and pull out some old MAC products? Are you about to place an order on their website to kind of take you back down nostalgia road? Like, what's going on? Let me know down in the comments because I'm obsessed. When I tell y'all I am obsessed with MAC, I am obsessed with them, with all of their products, and I'm going to continue to buy them. I'm going to continue to try them out. I'm having so much fun playing with their things. So yeah, I'm really happy with everything that I got, everything that I have. So definitely stay tuned for more makeup tutorials and makeup videos, favorites, and things like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you're new, you should go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join the Fragrance and Beauty Army, as well as that bell notification so that you can be notified every single time that I upload a video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.